What's happening, guys? Mic check, mic check. Let's see what this is like. Connection looks good. Live a little bit early at the minute. I might test this stream and then basically come back on closer to sort of 2:15. A nice little run here. How you doing, Serge? You up, mate? Just turn the music down. I didn't realise it was so loud. Yeah, I'm alright, man. Just chilling. Looking for a short, actually. Just trying to set things up for a nice little short here, but we'll see how the markets react today. I think we're going to see 12,200 today, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't see this being the bottom, to be honest. Yeah, could be. Yeah, yep. just, like I said, I just can't see this being the bottom. It just doesn't look like a bottom to me. You know, if we really start to go and it starts to, you know, push to the upside, probably going to see these levels up here, 450 give or take. But right now, we're just in such a strong downtrend. Probably just continue to bleed into 200. Strange, man. There's nobody on this stream. It's just me and you, by the looks of things. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I was just, I was on mute. No, I was just saying that, you know, I'm being really cautious today because I'm already down on my account this morning, and I want to make sure that the next trade that I take is as clean as, you know, as clean as I can make it. I was saying before, while I was on mute, I was saying there's still like 70 points upside, man. We could easily see 12,400 today, and then it tanks, right, and hits these levels down here. This is where I'm considering price is probably going to end up today, you know, down here at this level, 12.2, maybe a little bit lower. But I don't, just as we go into sort of pre-market, I don't want to go too nuts. Drake, how you doing, man? You know, you see little turns like this, and it's like 35, 10 points. Maybe take a little sell here. Is that enough? We'll start this next leg down. 1 second, guys. No, in fact, it's all right. should have caught back up. That's fine. Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that this is the bottom. Not convinced. So I'm still looking for shorts today, to be honest. It's a 2-minute chart. Just want to leave this on the 2-minute for now, just for now. I want to I've got to start setting things up here. So I'm going to put this here. Should get a little bit of volume pickup in the next 6 minutes or so. Let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, as expected. So it's a pretty decent drop on Bitcoin. This is a key level now. Let me get rid of that and redraw it. So we've got a nice white box. Yeah, 2105 on Bitcoin. Not bad. Binance is probably going to continue. Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive drop. That's done now. That liquidity is done now. So the next area we should be paying attention to is down here. So 295 on Binance. It's calling 300 in a message recently. It's gonna be difficult for this to be retraced. You see, we're seeing weakness across all markets. This is why I'm not convinced that that this is a turning point here. I'm not convinced this is a bottom. I think we're going to go lower today. No, I haven't been accumulating Bitcoin just yet. Just remember, yeah, sentiments, yeah, 10 AM. Thanks, man. I think it's P. Yeah, preliminary. Okay, yeah, 3 o'clock. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we just have to be patient, man. Just have to be patient. Yeah, I've got to be really careful today. Talking 33, 23 is about 10-point ranges. Okay. Yeah. Yep. God, my shoulder, man. If you guys ever see a car coming towards you, run. Although, to be fair, when I got run over it, I didn't even see it coming, to be honest. But my shoulder will never be the same again. My neck's never going to be the same. Nothing's ever going to be the same again. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes. Yeah, this is where we've got to be like super patient. You see this on the 5 minute. So we've had, a bottom's been put in today so far. Remember, this is a futures market, obviously. So, the index is not actually open yet. US equity opens in about an hour. But, we've had a pretty decent response, off this bottom so far. pulls back, really nice move, pretty decent, about 82 all the way up to around about sort of, yeah, it's about 50 point, 60 point range, give or take. But we're in an area where it makes sense that price should stall a little bit. So I'm looking for any real reason to go short today. You know, unless something stupid happens and price just absolutely explodes and there's nothing we can do about it. I'm talking about like serious candles. You know, I'm looking for, you know, any excuse to go short. Like I said, I'm already down on my account today, so I'm just going to be using one contract. If I find an opportunity to double it or triple it, whatever, I will. But you know, I'm just going to start chipping away. And on that note, when you have losing trades, it's very easy to get pulled into the market, you know, and think, you know, this is just, I need to get this back. And you know, I've said many times over the years, you know, just kind of going off on a little bit of a rant for a second about trading and how we are always getting in our own way, right? So when you take a losing trade, it's very, like, it's natural to want it back, you know what I mean? Because you think that the market owes you something, or it's not fair, or it shouldn't have happened. You just got to remind yourself that trading losses are part of, you know, a part of the game. There's no, you simply cannot avoid trading losses. In fact, one of the first things that when I first started trading stocks, and I met the guy that taught me, you know, a lot of the stuff that I know now, stats. You know, he was like, when you open a trade, he says you're instantly at a loss. You know what I mean? So you've got to get used to being down. You've got to get used to, you know, having or seeing red. But ultimately, over time, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and so on, that's when you get a bit of a, you know, a bit more of an indication as to the consistency of whatever system that you're using, right? So no emotion, no, you know, nothing, just nothing. It's just part of business. That's it. And when you remain calm and focused and just chill, you end up seeing things the way they are, you know, as opposed to the way that you want them to be. Like right now, I want the market to give me an indication that it's going down so I can short it. But I'm not doing that because I want to get my losses back. I'm doing that because everything that I'm seeing is indicating that price is going to go down. Now, if I was all charged up and fired up and going, oh, you know, this is like whatever, and trying to get, you know, just any old trade just so I can try to capture, you know, the loss back, I'm not going to see what I really want to see. I'm just going to portray, I'm going to force price to try and do something that I want it to do, you know. Am I seeing enough? Just consolidating here, man, to be honest. Obviously, we're right in the, like, we've literally just, you know, just started a little bit of volume in terms of pre-market. But the other thing as well, guys, how does the stream sound? You know, do I, you know, is it good? Am I clear? Is everything coming through all right? I got some Cat 7 actually, RJ45 Cat 7 Ethernet cable, and I'm now hardwired into the mainnet. But yeah, it's all hardwired now, so hopefully I shouldn't have any more problems with like the internet connections, issues, lag, slowdown, you know. Nice, perfect. Don't forget to like the stream as well. Just try and push it out there a little bit more. Yeah. So it's looking like we want to push a little bit more. Let's get rid of this for now. Maybe a little pop. If it goes, it's probably going to come straight into this level. You know, it's not worth taking a trade though, I don't think. Yeah, in terms of range, what we're talking. 18, almost 19 points. That puts us at 50, which would make sense, to be fair. That price wants to drive towards 50. Let me see if we can take a quick scalp here. Yeah, well, we've got a nice reversal here on the 2 minute. This is literally just short term, very quick trading. I prefer a little bit of a dip though. 32. If I can get 32 or 33, I'll take it. Just a quick scalp to the long side. Right, let's take it there. I'll put a stop just below here, and I'm going to go for probably 49.75. Alright, let's leave it like that and see what we get. Remember, this is a 2 minute chart, right? And if you take a look at the 5 minute, got a little bit of rejection here. You know, it is possible, obviously, it comes back down, and that's fine. But you've also got a little bit of build up here. You can't see it on the 2 minute. Let me show you something. Got a little bit of build up just here. So I would hazard a guess that there is a block at 35, right? So what that means is if it clears 35, you should see a pop. Right? So let's see how we fare. Nope. Now what I want to see here is I want to see this reverse and leave a tail behind just as it's picking up a little bit more at 28, 26. I'm just on a different screen at the minute, so I can't see the trade. You know what? I think yeah, that's probably why we bounced, actually. Gap fill on the Nasdaq yesterday. A 2450 on a gap fill. Maybe. What's Ethereum saying? You see, here's the problem. This is what I'm trying to work out, right? Let's see how this play goes. Yeah, man, let's see how it goes. What I'm trying to figure out here, right, is I'm trying to ascertain, right? So you kind of look at the markets, and this trade, just so you know as well, you know, when I get into a trade, I switch off. Like, I know what I want to see. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, whatever. You know, I'm not like, oh, you know, I've got to keep watching it. Like, I know my stops, my targets. I know exactly where price is. I know what I'm waiting for. I know what I'm looking to, you know, I know what I'm, you know, kind of looking to expect and so on. So I can focus on other things. But what I was going to say was, right now it's second week of Feb, right? And we're going into the second week of Feb. And what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to figure out at what point this year we're going to see something pretty nasty in the markets, right? So if you kind of look at the broader markets, you look at, you know, each country, you look at some of the issues that are happening in the world, you look at, you know, we recently had a visit from, what was his name? I say we like I'm, you know, politician, but I believe it's the Ukrainian Prime Minister. I can't say his name, but he came over here, didn't he? And he was asking for, you know, jets of freedom, and they're turning. And here's the thing, right? They're turning all of this stuff into like a comedy show, right? Like season 1, you know, episode 12 or something. Like, this is, you're playing around with people's lives, you know what I mean? And you've got like catchphrases in the news. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd, right? So I'm looking at all of these things and I'm trying to figure out where or how or when we're going to see something pretty dramatic, yeah, in the markets. And when that happens, you know, what does that look like? Like, how aggressive is it going to be in the market? Yeah, how much of a drop are we going to see? Because ultimately, if war breaks out, the markets aren't going to rally. If something happens with a world economy, the markets aren't going to rally. If there's something that happens financially in terms of mortgages, in terms of inflation, in terms of interest rate, whatever, the markets aren't going to rally, right? All of these things, right, are going to create, excuse me, all of these things are going to create a drop in the market, and it's going to be pretty substantial, right, if the fear kicks in. So we've just been stopped out of this trade. So for now, I'm going to leave it. And I'm just going to see. So we know that all of these different events that happen, or could potentially happen, right? That none of these things are going to create a bullish run in the market, a multi-year run. Like, if we want to be really realistic for a second, right? Can anybody on this stream, and I know there's not many, can any of you name one thing, even one thing, yeah, that could start a multi-year bull run? Like, really think about that. And if you can think of something, type it in. Maybe Dodger's Twitter on payment. Yeah. Doubt that will start it, long. Yeah. You know, there's like I said, guys, listen, man. I don't know a single person, right, that I've spoken to that can answer that question with confidence. Not a single person. And I know a lot of people. Like, I talk to a lot of people, right? And I haven't spoken to a single person, right, that can tell me with confidence, yeah, I think this will be the catalyst to a strong, solid bull run. Yeah. But if you ask the same people, and I'll ask you guys the same thing, name me 5 things, right, that could tank the market, that could cause one of the biggest crashes in history. Yeah. Straight away, boom, inflation, hyperinflation, war, hacks, cyber attacks, blah blah blah. Yeah, the list is endless. Any one of these things at any moment, right, can create an incredibly quick snap to the downside, right, that will literally cause fear and panic in the market, yeah. Forget technical analysis, forget all of this stuff, right? Forget fundamental analysis, forget indicators, nothing. All of that stuff goes out of the window when panic and fear hits the market. Part of the reason why I do not care about anything that happens in the marketplace, whether I make money or whether I lose money, because I condition myself to completely become detached from money, right? I've said this so many times, I don't care. Yeah, for me, it's always been about, well, I say always, in the later stages, sort of the last 15 years, I really started to work on this. Me, the trader, not interested in the money, really want to focus on the challenge of trading, the back and the forth, me as a person, how do I react to certain circumstances, how do I change this, how do I become better at this, and so on. And when you do all of this, the market doesn't have a pull on you, doesn't have a hold on you, right? So by default, you simply do not panic. Yeah. So if the market crashes right now, I won't panic and start frantically trying to grab my phone, and log into, and trying to pull money out of the market. Like, that panic is what causes people to get out at really stupid times. And I'll tell you a really quick story. There was and I said this before about Swissborg, when Bitcoin crashed, did a little flash crash, whatever it was. Bitcoin basically dropped, and then Swissborg literally went to below zero, right? And then snapped back. And I was telling people, if you sell, you're going to lose everything. Just leave it. And eventually it snapped back, you know, and a lot of people that listened anyway during that day saved some money. Because when you panic and you have fear and you see something like that, you're not thinking straight. Like, we all know, if you've been around the markets long enough, right, you'll know when you have a drop or a rally really, really fast, how many times have we seen that snap back? And I'm talking about something seriously aggressive, like bang, you know, and it really rips, something like what we saw on that last CPI release, and it really ripped to the upside and then just reverts. We see that all the time. Now, can you imagine if you FOMO'd in and bought, like, you got decimated? I think that really could be one thing for the moment. Bankrupt exchanges, yeah. Orwin is saying, Baru, you need some rest. Are you saying that to me, Orwin? Emotions do take over, man. Absolutely. So it's looking like we're getting this. It's looking like we're getting this pop. This is what I was expecting. Obviously, maybe my stop was a little bit too tight, but again, I'm being very, very cautious at the minute. You know, I want to make sure that we're clawing back safely. At this point, it's moved enough for me to. I can't take a trade here. Even if I believe it's going to 50, I still wouldn't take the trade. Robots don't need rest. No, if I look tired or I look drained or I sound like like I'm slurring my words or whatever, you know, I sound a little bit sort of bunged up, it's nothing. I had a severe allergic reaction last Sunday. My body took a really, really big pounding, you know, and I was in a bit of a bad way for, you know, the first sort of 2-3 days. So I'm still getting over that, to be honest. It takes a while. So now at this point, what I want to see really is just a complete reversal of this, what it's creating here. This kind of sideways, what seems like a little breakout. Really, to be honest, if we aggressively get back below 322, 320, you know, 322, 2120, this sort of area down here, depending on how it gets down there, I think will be good for a short. So this is what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this now. So we're probably not going to see much of anything at the moment. Obviously, we're pretty early. It's like we've still got another 40 minutes or so, 42, 43 minutes before the market opens. So we're probably not going to see much. And then even then, when the market opens, it's probably going to wait for the numbers release. But to be honest, I'm happy to hang around. Like, I'm really not in a rush today. I might jump off stream just to go and make a tea, but I'll leave the stream going and come back, something like that. But again, you know, there's not really much I need to do. I've got my phone here if anybody needs me, so I know what's going on. So here's the 5 minute, and let's just leave the 5 minute chart so we can see this sort of really short-term intraday movement. Yeah, I think I will. Let's go and grab a nice cup of tea. And again, if you guys have got any questions, let me know, man. You know, I like these streams to be informative, man. They're not just about trading. Anybody can trade. You know what I mean? And anybody can get lucky, anybody can make money, anybody can lose money. You know, but these streams really, they're about you guys. The more popular they become, you know, the more we can talk about a lot of different topics and subjects. So it is looking like we probably want to drive towards 350. And let me, do you know what? Actually, let me just talk through something for a second. So you see how challenging trading can be sometimes, right? We obviously got the direction right with that little, what I was hoping to be a little sort of intraday scalp. Got the direction, but I still got stopped out, right? So you say to yourself, okay, next time I'm going to have a little bit more of a wider stop. So you have a wider stop on the next time, and you still get stopped out. So, and then price still goes in the direction you expected. Yeah. So you have to maintain whatever rules that you have. You've got to maintain your rules, man. Like, you have to basically say, look, there's a line that I have to draw and say, I'm not just going to keep widening my stop just because price does what I expect it to do, and I still got stopped out, right? You can't do that, because ultimately when you start to create bad habits like that and you end up widening stops or shortening targets or trying to double your size to get all of this stuff, it just creates really, really bad habits, yeah, and it pulls you further and further away from a systematic approach to trading, right? So again, it's about losses. You've just got to be able to accept losses and say, I'm happy. Like, it is what it is. It's just part of the business. A small premium that I paid, and I'd much rather, get stopped out for a $20 or a $30 loss, than get hit with, a $100 loss when I just don't want to get hit with a $100 loss. Do you know what I mean? How low do you think BTC will go? For me, if it drops, the first key level for me is 11,655, right? It's the start of a liquidity pool. It's a pretty big one. That's where I'm expecting price to go. If it does get down there, it's probably going to hit 10k, to be honest. And this is on the kind of bearish scenario. So the bearish sentiment remains, bearish market, This is just a bull trap. All the things that that we kind of discuss. If you believe and have that kind of narrative in mind, then I think we go as low as 10k, to be fair. Discipline is 100% the key. Yes. Yep, absolutely. So I had, if you remember, the target was at 49.75, right? So I still wouldn't have hit that target yet, and I'd still be in the trade, and it would, and this is what goes through people's minds. The reason I'm talking about these things and being really specific is because I know what it's like, right, to go through this stuff, and I know what people are thinking, when they're trading. So just there, right, it's hit 49. Now finally I would have hit the target, but that first one that it hits and then it drops all the way back to 40, so you've just lost 7 or 8 points, right, on your profit, and you're like, oh man, why didn't, and then what do? You get your target and you pull it down, and you keep pulling it down until eventually you get your target profit gets hit, and then it just rips to your original target. These are the things that we do as traders, right, that drive people crazy. So discipline, systematic approach, logic, no pushing, no over the top stuff. You've just got to be really, really patient, wait for your levels to get hit, wait for whatever it is that you're looking for in the market to unfold, and when it does, you take a trade. Even if it works, great. If it doesn't, great. So with all of that said, let's go back up to the 30-minute and see what we're... What's the daily candle looking like now? Yeah, a little bit of a tail behind. 675. What's the 4 hour saying? The 4 hour ain't saying much of anything at the minute. Let's get some more data. Yeah, I only need that 4 hour candle, to be honest. Yeah, you see, that does not look bullish to me at all. I think we see 12,200 today. Suhaisini, how you doing, man? You okay? I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. What am I thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking down here, man. I'm thinking price is going to continue 12,200 today. You think about time, right? Yeah, think about time. Think about the way that these 4-hour candles form. So you had an impulse here to the downside, okay? Pretty strong, right? Obviously very, very, very big candle. And then we've just been bleeding ever since. So every 4-hour candle that's been rallying has been met with just downward pressure. I actually showed, I was talking to the chap that I'm helping at the minute in a private session. If that's your momentum to the downside, right? And let's do this. So if that's your momentum to the downside, right, on the 4-hour chart, what happens is, and this is where people get confused and sometimes get into trouble. So the momentum is down, but what happens is you get this, right? So you get tails, you get a little bit of upward pressure like this. So as price, the overall momentum is to the downside, you're getting these wicks, this upward pressure, right? And even today, a little bit of upward pressure, right? Oh, sorry. So you get a bit of upward pressure, right? So what are we seeing? Yeah. And the example that I explained yesterday when I was talking to this chap was salmon swimming upstream. So the current of the lake or the stream, whatever, is really, really strong. So it's going downhill, it's pushing down, you know, the current's pretty strong, and there's salmon swimming upstream. All of these small little arrows that are pushing upwards, right, these are salmon fighting against this big trend to the downside. The momentum is so strong to the downside right now. We clearly see it on the 4-hour chart. There's plenty of, you know, if you subscribe to support and resistance ideas, you know, supply and demand ideas, liquidities, you know, resistance, whatever you want to talk, like however you want to discuss it or kind of talk about it, down here is roughly where that is. Yeah, this big massive 4-hour candle's probably going to get filled at some point, you know, and price is going to end up down here. So we've got this downward pressure. We've got big, strong down candles, very small bars of relief on the way down, you know, and we've got a few little salmon trying to push the market back up. Yeah. Let's try and push the market back up. Let's try and push the market back up. But the overall sentiment is down. So I'm trying to find somewhere to go short in this today where I can hold for at least 12,200 if I can pull it off. That's what I'm looking for. So I hope that makes sense. Easy way, positional method, I mean 1 or 2 days. Your techniques clear, teach. Thanks. I think I know what you mean. Thank you. So now you look at the 60-minute and you're like, all right, well, we're up in an area where, you know, we've had a nice little run. We've hit the 50. Yeah. Is this the turn? I don't know. Let's see. So let's start dropping down the time frames to see if that downward pressure, that momentum to the downside is starting. So we'll say it like this. Let's see if the salmon are getting tired, right? That's what we're looking for now. We're looking to see if the salmon are getting tired. And when the salmon get tired, they just get dragged back downstream, right? So a little bit of relief, all right? So there's the first sign that the first few salmon almost got to the top, but they're just like, exhausted, you know? So 20-point drop. 20-point drop on this 5-minute candle. Yeah, now I've seen candles like this and they just reverse and go all the way through and we see 360, 370. Yeah, so I'm not in a rush to do anything with this. But a 20-point drop after hitting 50, that's pretty decent. Wish all crypto people talk like you. The explanation was top tier. Thanks, man. Yeah. I met somebody years ago. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. You know, when I was younger, I had a lot of problems. You know what I mean? And I went through. guess you want to call it depression, right? And I met somebody, and he used to, every time, well, I say he, there was two people, there was a he and a she, but the woman, she was okay, but this guy was brilliant. Like, everything that he told me was a story. Like, he used to just talk to me in stories all the time, metaphors, stories, analogies, everything, you know. And because I'm right brain dominant, it just resonated with me. It made sense, you know what I mean? I think telling stories and trying to give analogies based on things that are common in nature, or things that are common in life, or things that just make sense to people, is a much easier way to learn than just saying, you know, mathematically, if we look at the Fibonacci, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fibs, plenty of people use fibs, and they, you know, they're absolutely valid, but, you know, for me it's just boring. It's like, oh, Fibonacci, math, oh god, you know, I'd rather just, I want to see the story. You know. Gold trading strategy. Suhasini, I'm not really sure what you're asking me. Gold trading strategy. I don't have a gold trading strategy. I don't trade gold. Very, very rarely do I trade gold. So we're getting a little bit of downward pressure now. Yeah, salmon's getting tired. A few more are getting tired now. Everything's getting pushed back downstream, right? So let me show you guys something, right? If we look at this move to the upside, we know where we are, right? We're in a downtrend. We've hit this bottom. Price has started to rally a little bit, and it looks like it could potentially keep going, right? But the momentum's to the downside. So when you're looking at all of this, at what point from here, this low, so from here to here, right? So this low to this high, at what point would you feel comfortable or confident that price is going to start going back down again? I'll let you guys answer that. All right, so we've got 12,350 and we've got 12,280. Right, this is the range. At what point would you feel confident, right, that you've seen enough to say, yep, I'm probably going to take a short now? Need my glasses, yeah, no worries. $12,325. 12,325. Okay. Now, when you're looking at the 5-minute chart like this, you say 12,325 here. Okay, so just roughly there. You want to see this traded through. But here's the problem: you're hitting a level where we've already had a pretty decent bounce. Right. So what's to stop price hitting that again and bouncing again, right? So if we go up to the 15-minute chart and you look at this, you're like, well, actually the 15-minute chart has just started a fresh 15-minute candle, and it's looking like we're probably going to continue going lower. So you see down, small rally, down, you know, more of an exaggerated rally, okay, but it's created a pivot now, and it could potentially want to continue going lower, take out the lows of the day, and then keep driving towards that 12,200. I'm lost at low time frames, to be honest. One of the Big things I still need to learn. Yeah, using lower time frames, right, is you have to understand higher time frames before you can use lower time frames. There's absolutely no question about it, right? Because I know on the 15-minute chart, we've just created a swing point, could potentially be going lower. We go up to the 30-minute chart, you know, and you're like, okay, so we've got a pretty decent 30-minute candle. We've just hit the 20. All right, now we're 19. So it looks like the pressure's building up to the downside, right? But then when you go down to the 5-minute chart, you know, okay, that's pretty decent, right? But let's see the logic at 20, 25. So if you took a short at 25, right, you're up 5.6 points or whatever, but we could see a potential bounce from here. So we don't go straight away. We wait. We let the market settle, right? So look at the 2-minute chart now. You can see we've had this basing, then we had a breakout. It's hit, you know, sort of 50. We've had a pretty decent sell-off, and then we've had that secondary drop into these lows, right? So you don't take it straight away because you're likely to get a little bit of relief from that, and price is likely to come into this 2-minute candle, right? But we have a range to play with. So if we were to take a short here, the likelihood that we're going to continue dropping is not necessarily super high, but I'm more confident taking a short than I would be taking a long, for example, right? We've got 26 minutes left before the market open. God. Oh, my shoulder. So let's see if we can work into a little bit of a trade here, with the expectation that price is going to continue to the downside. And just as a quick side note, if this trade doesn't work, I'm probably going to be done for the day, because I don't want to keep, you know, I don't want to keep hacking away. You know, discipline is discipline. So 24, 23, 26 seconds left of this candle. Let's take a
order filled.
Oh, for goodness sake. I can't believe that I'm just rambling and I'm on mute. Wow. Okay. Oh, God. I was talking about manually risk. I was talking about, like, anyway, whatever, man. I'm not going to go through all that again. Let's see if the salmon get battered. All I was saying is I've got a monetary loss in mind, yeah? $30 to $35 on the trade. I'm quite happy. I'll take it off, right? And I'll do that manually. The reason the stop's up here is not because that's where the stop is. I've got the ATM strategy set to $50 either side, right? Which gives, you know, price time to move around and everything to happen, you know. So once I've seen enough And once I'm happy with the position that I'm in, then I can, move the stop down to where it needs to be. And what I was saying was, my stop needs to be around about 36, 37, right? So what we'll do is we're going to let price just kind of fiddle around a little bit. We'll bring the stop down to 37 now. Somebody came in. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. About there. So let's see. Now, if we get some movement to the downside, and price starts to approach sort of 310, yeah. What I want to see, so as price is dropping and it's stair stepping down. So let's say it drops, hits 310, and then it starts to rally a little bit. The rally gives me an opportunity to add to my position, right? While it's in profit and not affect the average cost too much, right? Whereas if it drops to 310 and I instantly add to the position, it just brings my cost to 15 straight away. And then that rally to 15, I'm back at break even again and maybe slightly at a loss, right? If it goes a little bit more. But if I'm trying to add at say 14, 15 or 16, that cost doesn't really move that much, which is ideally what we want, right? So that 5 minutes finished nice. So that 5 minute candle just here. Nice 5 minute candle, right? So we've got downward, like, so again, all of these green candles, these are salmon trying to, I know it's a crazy example, but these are salmon fighting the stream, trying to fight upstream, trying to fight upstream, right? And either the river's going to win or the salmon's going to win, right? But this is why we use the higher time frames, right? So when we go to the higher time frames, we get a much better indication of what that pressure looks like, and it's just down, man. Like, this is just a really, really strong current to the downside. Price is being pulled lower, pulled lower, pulled lower. So while the salmon's trying to do its job, it just keeps getting battered. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean this trade's going to work. There's a lot of variables, obviously. We have 19 minutes left to market open, so we'll see whether or not we get some favorable market movement towards the market open. So the closer we get to market open, and obviously at 3 o'clock we've got a news release as well that could potentially affect the market pretty drastically. So again, we'll see. So I'm going to be moving my target profit as well. What I really want to see, to be honest, let me just zoom right out for a second. Like, really, to be honest, I want to be down here, like, if I can capture a really nice trade today all the way down to sort of 12,200, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But again, let's see if it happens, right? And I want to try to capitalize on this by adding to the position as well. And I also need a drink, so just give me a few minutes, guys. I'll be back in a few minutes. Let's put us about there. Actually, I'll bring the stop down to 36. There we go. All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna go and grab a drink. Just in time to get stopped out. Fantastic. Don't really want to put that on there, so pop it there instead. See you later, Sty. What would that bring BTC down at? Oh, I have no idea. Oh, in terms of if this trade went down to 12,200, I don't know, man. Who knows? You know, the ratio there is you can't always do that. And obviously as well, just so you know, I'm very aware, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but I'm very aware that some of the things that I say, people, you know, as limited as these streams are in terms of attendance, yeah, I know some people are just looking for signals, and I'm not saying you guys are, like, because I know most of you, but you know, asking questions like that makes me think, I wonder if he's in a short on Bitcoin and he's looking, you know, to potentially add to his position or put a target. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying this is how my brain works. Sweet. But yeah, to be honest, I couldn't say. I mean, realistically, if you have a pretty aggressive drop on the Nasdaq, it generally tends to affect Bitcoin more than, say, a drop on the S&P would. You know, so I mean, we could end up back down at anywhere between 18,000 to 20,000. It just depends. Because crypto's slightly different in the way the volume works. Because you got to remember, a lot of this stuff's mined, right? So if you're mining Bitcoin and then you get 100,000 Bitcoin that you've just mined and you dump it on the market and then you sell it, that's not really volume, that's manipulation. Do you know what I mean? So there's a few more variables you've got to take into consideration when it comes to the cryptocurrency market. So what have we learned from this trade, right? We have this very messy area now, right, where if price was going to go, I mean, we were down to 15. Yeah, the 15 level that I was saying I'd like to see price get to 10, rally to 15, 16, maybe potentially grab some more, then it continues to the downside. But obviously that's not what's happened. We're staying in this area. We can get rid of this because we don't need it now. Oh, sorry. Get rid of this because we don't need it now. We don't really need that anymore. You know, so we may very well continue to the downside, but it's getting very whipsawy now because we're getting closer to the open. So we'll leave it. We won't touch it. We're just going to be patient. And like I said, you know, I'm not going to be trading for the rest of the day now. I'm nowhere near my max loss, but either way, I'm not feeling it today, to be fair. I'm just having an off day. And that's the other thing as well. You've got to be able to recognize when you're having an off day and still be able to sit here, view charts, you know, go through the analysis and so on without feeling the impulse to trade. Yeah, I don't feel the impulse to trade now. I'm quite happy to just leave it. You know, watch price. You know, if we do get down to 12,200, it's going to be a great learning opportunity to kind of go through the motions to see if I was right. And then I look at price. I'm like, okay, what could I have done differently? How could I have prevented some of the losses today? Was there a better opportunity to get into the market? Did I, you know, was I too early? Was I trying to force the market to do something it wasn't ready to do yet? Did I wait for that opportunity? Right, you know, was I getting into clean setups and so on? So we do all of this, but you do it without being in the market. You do it, you know, like I said, you've got to be able to be here, to look at the markets, you know, and not feel the impulse to want to try to claw back that, you know, that loss. I'm not bothered now. It's just, you know, I'm still up on the week. It doesn't really bother me. Quite happy to take the loss today, you know, and like I said, slightly like I'm not really feeling it. So I'm just going to keep watching. I'm going to wait for the market open and we'll just see how we fare. More questions. I got wrecked on a couple of meme coins over the week. Lost about 20k. Wow, man. That's brutal. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna like. Trust me, man. I've like just literally pick a number, and I've probably lost it. You know, at some point in my trading life. You know, I think the travesty is when you don't learn from it. You know, I think this is something that I did for a while when I first started trading. I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. I just kept losing and not really learning from that loss. You know, and it's really stupid. But if you learn from that, you know, and you just resolve to say, look, do you know what? I'm never, ever, right, going to lose 20k on a trade, or, you know, on a trade or on like never, ever again. You know, you start to think differently. The thing is as well, guys, I think we forget sometimes why we're here, right? You know, we're here to make money. We're not here to make life-changing wealth. Yeah, this idea of being able to make life-changing wealth, it ain't gonna happen over a weekend. It's not gonna happen in a week, 2 weeks, 2 months. It takes years, man, years to get life-changing wealth, unless you're super lucky. But you're talking about like freakish lucky. Yeah. I will say one thing. If I just sat down, yeah, and this is not to take away from the trading that I did today, because I still would have took the trades anyway. You know, happy with my trading today because it was disciplined, very controlled my risk and everything else. But if I just sat down now, it's 22:22, and I started the live stream right now, I've got a lot more information available to me, right? I can see yesterday's movement. I can see a little bit of today's, you know, a little bit of yesterday's rally, you know, going into the close. I can see London session, you know, Asia, London, you know, I can see the bounce here. I can see the range that it's created, you know, and I've been in a much stronger position to be able to attack the market at open, you know. So, you know, these are things that we have to think about. But again, it's not to take away from, you know, the trading that I did today. Just because I took a loss today doesn't mean, you know, that I wouldn't have traded in the exact same way, because I would have done. You know, trading, I'm not muted yet. Trading is, you know, is very dynamic. That's weird. Is that the same song? TOS. Huh. I think it's the same song but a remix. Yeah, I'm just looking down at the stream deck. So we've got about 7 minutes to market open. We'll let the market open. We'll let it do its thing. And then we'll probably just close the stream, go and get some food. Still got to get to the gym, to be honest. What time is it? Oh, man. I'm a bit too tired to go to the gym, but I'm going to force myself, man. No exceptions. No exceptions. Look at the spine now. So we don't really need these now, and get rid of these. And like I said, still thinking that we're probably going to end up down here at some point. Pretty solid downtrend. Yeah, momentum's good. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. I've only got 4. Oh, I've just got 1. Wicked. Yeah, just give that thumbs up. A little tap. Hopefully we'll get another 2 or 3 people in the stream. I've noticed as well that when I'm more... Yeah, but when I'm a little bit more clinical in the delivery, like in terms of the telling people about the live streams and scheduling them, we get a lot more viewers. Most people don't even know that I'm streaming right now. This is why no one's on. Who's this? Let me take a look. Interesting. So I'm just checking some of the names that are coming into this server. Okay. So not ready to come down yet, the Nasdaq, by the looks of things. One of the best scenarios, guys, just as a quick side note, if any of you trade, right, like I'm doing, you know, I trade every day. So if you're in front of the markets every day, one of the best scenarios when you're looking at a chart like this, I'm just zooming a little bit. Just going to wait for that to catch up. There we go. So one of the best scenarios is this. Price rips, boom, to an area where you expect price to go, right? And then it just tanks. Yeah, like this. And then you take a trade when it sets up the way you want it to, around about, I don't know, 260, 270, somewhere around here, right? As it starts to approach this low again, right? Because what that does is it's trapping traders long. Short, a lot of traders are trapped now. Prices ripping to the downside. Anybody that tried to catch the bottom has just been stopped out. Now they're going to try to take a short because they see this big move. You know what I mean? Then you've got people that are going to be selling down, yeah, creating more downward pressure because they see these traders that are trapped long. They see that their profits are just eroding, not profits, but that, you know, that they're in a drawdown and it's just getting larger and larger and larger, you know, and then boom. You get that last portion from around about 60 all the way down to 200. This is a great scenario. This is something that I would love to see today. The market's going to open in 3 minutes. And again, remember, I'm done trading. I'm not going to be trading for the rest of the day. So we're just going to watch the open and see what happens. Alright, this music's getting a bit weird. Let's start again. Yeah, man. No worries, mate. Enjoy. Just got about 1:37 before market open. Let's drop down to the 15-minute chart. So we've got a... Oh, that's not. Micro NQ. Let's drop down to the 15-minute chart. About 40 seconds left before market open. Just bear in mind as well, the stream's slightly delayed. I think there's about a 3-second delay, 3 second delay on the stream. So let's see what's a shaking. "20 seconds. One of the things that I try to avoid doing as well, just as a little tip, I try not to look at the open on shorter time frames, you know, like 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, these types of time frames. The higher the time frame, as I said in yesterday's stream, the more price is moving. So if you see price moving as it is on the 15-minute chart, it's moving, yeah, because it's a 15 minute, it's a 30 minute, you know, these are bigger time frames. On the 5 minute, this will look like a huge candle. Let's take a look. You know, boom, massive candle. You're like, ooh, you know, buy. But wait a second. If you take a step back and you go to a larger time frame, you have this expectation of what you want to see. And you know that you're in a downtrend. You know that price could be coming up into an area where you could see a little bit of stability. You know, for example, here with all of this mess, consolidation, you know, price could be coming into this consolidation, for example. We're already seeing signs of a little bit of slowdown. You know, so very important. And this opening range that we're seeing now, so remember, we have an opening range from 29.75 to around about 76, right? Which isn't massive, but it's pretty decent. But this opening range now, as it's creating this opening range, what we like to see is we want to see it reversed, right? So we want to see this opening range completely decimated and then price really start to push to the downside with momentum, because then that gives you the confidence, right, that the pull on that 4 hour is still down. So now let's drop to the 5. Let's drop to the 2 as well, see what these candles are looking like. Yeah, might see 400. Probably just down the 30 minute now. And like I said, for a move down here, I'd like to see this 30 minute candle completely reversed. So I'll hang around for another few more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to go and get myself to the gym. I'm sorry I'm yawning on the stream, man. I'm absolutely exhausted, to be honest. I think that comment about me getting some rest was, yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Take a quick look at the cryptocurrency markets. Binance is at 307. A little bit of a, yeah, like I said, you see the cryptocurrency market, and you guys, I'll show you, look. So the cryptocurrency market here, you've got this drop. There we go, it's just switched over. So we've got this drop, and even though we're seeing a rally, right, on the Nasdaq, you don't really see it in crypto. It's not kind of the same thing, you know, it's more of an overall market direction. So the overall market is weak, crypto's weak. The overall market is strong, crypto's strong, right? But this is different. I've said this before, and this is something everybody should pay attention to. The market, the cryptocurrency market, money's not coming into cryptocurrency right now. Anything that's coming out of the stock market, right, I'm telling you, is being used to pay bills, right? People are really starting to struggle. So just looking at this 4 hour here, if we do get a big push on the Nasdaq, it is likely that this is probably going to continue straight through 300 and probably hit 295, maybe 290. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's get back to the Nasdaq, see what's shaking there. So we've just hit top end, look at 80, and yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave it there. really much else to discuss. Happy with everything today. Stream is okay. Really happy with the latency of the stream. The stream's absolutely amazing. Really strong connection, man, so I'm happy with that. Cool. Alright, awesome. I'll chat to you guys soon, man. I'll be in all the usual places if anybody needs me. I'll be in the Discord. I've always got my phone with me most of the time. If you're not already in the Discord, the link is in the description below. And I'll chat to you guys in a bit. Ciao, ciao.